My name is Jason Diaz Ferguson, and I'm the moderator for Brent Hallman in the 2025 presidential election. And today we're debating, we're having the presidential debate today.
My name is Nikolai Long, and this is Sebastian representing Oscar in this 2025 election debate. It's going to be Sebastian representing Oscar versus Brent. So,
My name is Sebastian Acosta, and I'll be stepping in for Oscar Reyes.
Brent Hallman, running for myself for the presidential debate.
so the first question we're here to ask you is: given the worrisome rise in mental disturbances within the younger generation of Americans over at least the last decade, what would you do? What would you now do to improve the mental health of our citizens?
I would. Did I start again? Yeah. I would say start getting more counselors involved with the students, having them actually feel for their students, actually care for them, and actually see if they're okay with their mental health during class.
I would have more counselors in school and have have more counselors in school and have more training for counselors. Make sure they're actually well suited to help students' needs in classes.
For the second question, as president, what would you do to increase mental health treatment within the community for our vets and their families and caregivers?
For that, when veterans come home from overseas, they should have free health care and like free right to go to a therapist free of charge, so they to deal with stuff from overseas, dealing with PTSD and things of that nature.
For those who have served for us, they should also have free care, have proper care for themselves. Yeah, nah. I don't know what to say, to be honest.
Next question. As president, how would you ensure that Americans keep the right to bear arms under the Second Amendment while also ensuring that gun violence drops?
I would have stricter background checks and raise the age that adults can buy guns. They should have more training and actually have their guns registered to them stricter.
I would like I support more background checks for before you get a gun, and you should have like there should be like flag certain individuals if they've committed a certain crimes in the past to prevent them from lawfully purchasing any firearms, and also banning like assault style weapons and only semi-automatic weapons for civilians. That's it.
The unfortunate rise of gun violence in institutions such as public schools, what would your plan to be? What your plan be to combat gun violence within
Um, to combat gun violence in schools, one, there should be increased security, like metal detectors in schools to prevent students from actually bringing a firearm onto campus, and also, teachers and staff members at school should be trained to defend themselves if a situation was to arise, so panic doesn't happen when they're in the actual situation.
To combat gun violence in school, there should be more care for the students, make sure their mental health is okay so they don't bring weapons or feel the need to bring weapons into class. They shouldn't have to feel unsafe in class, so they feel like they have to bring something to defend themselves or any other reason.
Yeah.
As president, how do you engage with Mexico and other countries to reform, create, and implement cooperative immigration policies?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
As president, how would you engage with Mexico and other countries to reform, create, and implement cooperative immigration policies?
I believe they should be given a chance to come into the United States. We're both human, we're both people. They should be able to come in, have their own freedom, having their own opportunities to grow and continue as themselves. They're humans.
I believe a secure border is essential, but also fairness with um, people who want to come into the country and like like give them good asylum, not just if they want to come, just sending them back to where like their home country. They should actually be accepted, not just denied, but also still while maintaining a secure border.
Do you believe that increasing border security is the most effective way to combat drug trafficking? Or should the U.S. focus more on international partnerships and strategies on reducing illegal immigration?
Um, I believe I believe a combination of both of those things will help combat drug trafficking into the United States for the best. One, having like a secure border and increasing border patrol will limit people trafficking drugs into the country, and also having ties like international ties with other law enforcement agencies in other countries will help combat that as well.
Question. Focus more on international relationships so they can have more control on drugs so people can be having them in their states. They can be bringing them into ours.
How would you ensure that all communities receive equal access to clean air and water, as well as equitable response to climate disasters such as wildfires or hurricanes?
There should be more training in classes so you can prevent wildflower fires, and prevent people from throwing away or littering outside of their classes, outside of their homes, and actually taking care of the earth.
Can you repeat the question, please?
How will you ensure that
For the wild disasters and like for like wildfires and hurricanes, well, you can't really stop hurricanes, but for wildfires, you can stop people from littering trash or like throwing away lit cigarettes, and those can cause wildfires. But also for the clean air and water, start stop like having increased fines on littering, and also more more windmills and water dams built for clean air and water.
what steps will you take to ensure we collectively reduce our carbon emissions? Do you have an emissions reduction target or timeline?
I do not have a timeline, but I will say to combat carbon emissions in the future, we'll be increasing funds towards electric car industries, and also stop. We'll be trying to stop using more fossil fuels in the future.
I do not have a target or timeline, but I believe we should start focusing more on electric vehicles and get rid of using fossil fuels, which is polluting the earth and causing global warming.
As president, how would you support or advocate for families impacted by drug addiction?
I believe they should be given therapy and help them out. Yeah, they should be given therapy, being helping out to help themselves grow and get out of their situation that they've been put in.
Um, for that, I believe families and individuals that are combating drug addiction, they should not be denied therapy and stuff like that, but they should also instead of like throwing someone in jail for doing drugs, instead do more work to find the person who sold them those drugs and stuff like that.
Since 1980, the U.S. prison population has grown by almost 800%. The United States has more people behind bars than any other country. What would you do as a president to reduce the U.S. prison population and mass incarceration?
Um, I believe some people who have been locked up have been targeted by a non truthful justice system, and some people who have been targeted by the justice system should be like have their cases and trials run back over, see it and see if they're could should be released back and be free.
I believe they should be given an opportunity to be set free. Although not everybody deserves a second chance, they should be given a chance to at least prove themselves that they have learned from their mistakes and come back into society.
Go first.
You go first, because I gotta think about this. Because why should they vote for him? He's not even here.
Nah. But nah, you should vote for me because there will be a better economy in the future, and there will also be better climate change and all that.
Should I say? Oh, okay. I don't know if it's still recording. Should I say for Oscar or should I vote for me? Because I guess I'm the one standing up here. Oscar, okay. 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 Unfortunately, Oscar Reyes was absent today due to his sickness, but please vote for Oscar Reyes. He will help with the community, the economy, and health service. We hope to count on your vote.
Nah.